Hey guys, Alex from That Guy DIY here with a short project. So we're going to recoat this basement block wall with waterproof coating. And let me show you why. So I think this coating on here now, probably 4 or 5 years old. What is coming through right here is called efflorescence. So it's basically minerals precipitating out of this block wall. You can hear some parts sound more hollow. That's where the coating's chipping off. So we're gonna go ahead and get it cleaned up and resealed and looking nice for the new tenant. Essentially, this is just a 3-part process. So we're gonna scrape all this old stuff off the wall, get it cleaned up. Gonna use a variety of just handheld scrapers. We'll also use a grinder with a masonry bit if we need to try to smooth some high spots out. If there's major cracks, we've got some hydraulic cement we're gonna put in there. We'll let that dry overnight and then we'll come back tomorrow and get it painted.
I've linked all the tools you'll need for this project in the video description below. As far as materials, we'll be using a product called Drylock made by UGL. So this is a waterproof coating. It comes in white and gray. We'll actually be using the white for this project. They also make a hydraulic cement, which you see on the right hand side. So this is a powder. It comes with mixing instructions. You'll also need a cheap paintbrush and something to mix the hydraulic cement in. Preferably a pan like this for joint compound and then a putty knife. Before worrying about any of the painting or concrete patching work, we need to get all this old paint off. So there's a couple good scraper options I've listed below. You can find others at your local Home Depot. It's nothing special to this. Take your scraper and get off as much of the loose and chipping paint as possible. In our next step, we'll use our angle grinder to get off some of the harder to get off paint or any raised spots we need to smooth out.
Alright, so I think we got off the easy stuff. One of the things we will be looking at closely is some of these cracks. We're going to grind out a little bit more and make sure we get some of the hydraulic cement in there. Other than that, we just want to make sure that we try to get off as much of the loose paint as possible.
Now we're going to take our angle grinder with a masonry grinding wheel. Be sure to get a grinding wheel and not a cutting wheel. I don't think you'll need a cutting wheel for this job. Essentially what we're doing is trying to smooth out any high spots or some of the paint that might have been harder to get off with a paint scraper that was kind of loose. We can get that off with a grinding wheel. But really in this step, we want to focus on cleaning out any of the cracks, making sure we get out any loose debris or crumbling in there. And in this step, you want to try to cut a nice V-shaped notch in those cracks. The V-shaped notch will give your hydraulic cement a nice place to settle and cure and ensure it gives you a long-lasting finish. You can see this process is extremely dusty, so you'll want to make sure to wear a respirator and some eye protection and probably give it some time to clear out before you come back in to put the cement on. After we've got everything cleaned up, we're ready to put on our hydraulic cement, so we're going to mix it up. This mix is 3 scoops of cement to 1 scoop of water. We're going to mix that up to a nice even consistency, and then we're ready to go and apply it in any low spots or any of those cracks we cleared out. So this product does cure pretty fast, so you're going to want to move quickly getting it on the wall where you need to. The only tools you'll need for this is the putty knife, and I grabbed the bottom of an old broom to brush over the patches to give it some texture so it didn't look like a big blob or patch on the wall. After we coat over this, it's going to look like one consistent wall. You're not going to notice a big chunk of patch. After your patches have dried, you're ready to start painting. So this waterproof coating, you want to mix it up really well. There's some coarser aggregates and sand type material in it that might settle to the bottom that you wouldn't necessarily find in a normal wall coating. You'll notice I'm using a brush here as opposed to a roller. I just found that allowed me to work the coating into some of the cracks and crevices a lot better. Also, this product is really thick. With a roller, I found that it splattered a lot more when I was rolling, and overall, the brush worked a lot better, although it took a lot longer. So for this project, I did put 2 coats on some certain spots. That's because these old houses with limited water remediation on the exterior, the basement block walls will hold a fair amount of moisture, so some of that moisture just crept through my first coating. After I put the second coat on, I had no issues. It looked nice, crisp, and white, and a solid finished product. So here's the end result after the second touch-up coat had dried. No staining had come through. Overall, compared to where we started, just 100 times better. It doesn't look like a scary, dingy, cracking old basement wall that it looked like before. So I was really happy with how this turned out. If you like this short and quick how-to DIY video, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel and go over and check out all the other content we have up there. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.